Let's go with the flow. Those were literally the last words that me and my companion in today's coaching conversation said right before we hit record here. My name is Niiamah Ashong. I lead the Trailblazer Collective, which is our peer community of globally minded, socially conscious, and impact driven leaders who are stepping up to play on a world stage and are going through the process of building the muscles of courage in order to play not just from a place of showing up physically, but actually making sure that they're showing up in a way that is in alignment with who they are and the unique thing that they have to bring to the world. I love this idea of being in the flow because we're right now in living in a time that is characterized with one word, uncertain. And through the uncertainty of it all, the aspect of being in flow and being able to both create with what's present in the moment, as well as shape what the future is going to look like. That's the game that we're choosing to play here. We recognize that we're in a space right now of possibility. The world has never looked this way before. Our worlds in a smaller context, our local communities, the systems that we've been a part of, the organizations that we're in, and the people that we serve, everything has an opportunity right now to actually be shaped toward what things are going to look like in the future. And there's going to be some of us out there that are going to see the results of what that future looks like. And for all of us that are watching this or in part of this conversation here, we're choosing something different. We're choosing to be the ones that help shape what that future will look like. I invite you to come be a part of this conversation. I'm ready to jump back into the flow here. Beata, I am really, really thrilled that the two of us get to spend some time here together, both in connection and in service. It's good to be with you today. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you for having me. I really love to speak with you again.
Yeah. I'm feeling very excited for this conversation. So let's do this here. I want to keep the excitement and I want to ground it as well, right? So let's just take let's take some just a bit to just really enter the room together. So if you can go ahead, put your feet flat on the ground, find yourself really supported in your seat here. And let's just take in some time to just take in a few breaths to really be with one another. All right. If we can just go ahead, I think taking 5 breaths to allow whatever. Actually, let's take in the breaths here, and I'll speak to whatever we need to afterwards. Okay. So you can go ahead and allow yourself to breathe in. I love to breathe in from the bottom of my feet all the way into the depth of my stomach and really feel that connection along the way. With each breath that you take, I invite you to let one more element of your day beforehand fall away. As you breathe in, I want you now to feel for yourself, how is it that you would love to leave this conversation? And let's get oriented and feel a bit of that as well. And then one more breath in. And this breath here is about anything that's going to distract you from being fully present right now in this conversation. We can just let that out so we can be with one another. You know, good. I'm glad we did this year. I have the tendency to get excited and then just run off. And I think that there's an element of being both in flow and grounded and elevated at the same time. And so I'm happy to meet you in a connected state.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to play today. We get to play today. We have time set aside for a conversation. However long it takes is it. Right? Um, what I love to do is to really give us a chance to explore something meaningful. For me, I choose to play in a world where we spend our time creating new possibilities for each other, as opposed to focusing on solving problems. So, like as we start here, I'd like you to just orient yourself really quickly. and just to see a bit of yourself here 6 months down the line, 6 months, a year, 3 years, wherever feels powerful for you, wherever it feels like it's alive for you. I want you to see yourself in the way that you are showing up in the world, the people that you're serving, the impact that you're having, the those who you are leading. When you have that in mind, my question for you would be, what would we need to talk about today that would help bring that future that you see to fruition in the next month?
I I need to work on my network more. And I think what you said before, that it's difficult to embarrass you. This way, this might be my topic that I need to go over with a bit more, or at least stretch in this direction a bit more. I have still a problem asking for help, so I am not using my network. I think I have quite a big network, but I am embarrassed. I think this is the key word here, to just go and ask for help. It is, I am embarrassed. I think you nailed it with the first sentence, because I thought I was not asking for help because I never got it in a proper way. So I ended up doing stuff by myself. But I think it's also coming from this direction that I am embarrassed.
Thank you for
I realize.
Yeah. Let me check in with you. How does it feel to like just even have that realization right now before going in to fix anything or do anything about that? Like, let's just acknowledge that realization in that and to start out with.
It feels heavy on my chest now. So I want to get rid of it.
Okay.
It really feels very heavy. I don't know. I never thought about this before.
Well, let's play with this here. So you have a heaviness in your chest right here. Can I ask you, like, and when else do you get? When else do you have that feeling of heaviness? When else do you have that?
I did not feel it for longer. This is like what I realized when I said embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
The word embarrassment causes this, I have to inhale like really deeply to overcome it in a way.
Yeah, I'd say also like there's going to be a couple different ways that we're going to play today with this here. I use the word play very intentionally, especially when things get heavy. I like to give us a way to be light with it, right? Um, the element of embarrassment is not a light topic overall, um, and so I want to make sure that we don't add any additional heaviness to the mix, right?
Sounds good. Yeah.
So let's play with this. Part of I'll ask you this question here. When it comes to that feeling of heaviness, when it comes to the feeling of embarrassment, right? Um, what's the possibility that you like to see? So, put it another way, if we were able to help you have a different relationship with either asking for help with your network, with the feeling of embarrassment, if we were able to have a different relationship with it, what would be the change that we would see in the world?
I believe that with others I can achieve much more, generally, and this will help me make my impact if I am able to ask for help in a powerful way and I don't feel embarrassed about it. I never realized that I am embarrassed to ask for help.
Can I ask, and you can let me know if you like to answer this or not, but what about it feels embarrassing to you? I think that there's different we all have different flavors around it here, and if this is a new feeling, I'm going to give some space to like exploring
Mhm.
that.
I'm still shocked somehow, you know. I don't know. I never thought about this before, so I don't know. Very weird. Um, I think in many cases I just feel that when I ask people for doing something for me, for helping me out, by wanting something from them, I am abusing in a way the relationship. Maybe this is the part of this embarrassment. It's not about feeling stupid or something, because many things I just don't know. I don't write Arabic. I need to ask people to help me with this, right? For example. Yeah, but it has to do with this kind of abusing the relationship.
I'm glad I asked that because I think well, let me see. Is there anything else? Is there anything else around your flavor of embarrassment here? Because I don't want to make any assumptions that I don't want to make any assumptions around it.
I probably also don't want to put people in the position where they don't want to help me, or they cannot help me and they will not be able to say no. And this might be also related to the culture I'm in at the moment.
Okay.
Could be. Doesn't have to be, but could be.
Okay. Awesome. So let's explore this here. Let's explore. So what I'm hearing from you, there's like three different things that you brought to this conversation, right? Um, that that feeling of being embarrassed at like how it is as you feel it, right? The element of building out the network and also asking for help. Um, there's a part right now that like first I just want to say kudos to you for for the shock of really acknowledging that the embarrassment here, and the reason I know like the place that we would normally go is say, okay, all right, how do we help you get rid of the embarrassment? But first, I want to just like spend some time appreciating the embarrassment first. I want to give like take a different approach with it there, and just see for a bit here what the gifts are that are related to it, what you've gotten as a result of this, so we can, and what the rewards of that embarrassment has given you, what the rewards of thinking in this way has given you. All right. So yeah, I'm going.
The rewards of feeling embarrassed and not asking for help,
Yep.
that I am self-reliable in most cases. This is probably one and the most important one. I see already the other side immediately, so I cannot go there yet. Okay. Other gifts. I think it's connected with my independence quite a lot. And this is important to be independent for me. So the biggest gift is the independence, that I'm not depending on anyone.
Yep. Yep. What else?
The other thing is coming to my head is that I don't owe anything to anyone.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I have a dialogue in my head that it would not matter because I can give back to people and I can give to people. I don't have the problem with that. So this is somehow, it's coming to my head, but it's not relevant in a way.
Okay. If I'm getting it,
This
it's like,
perspective of giving back, but still having no debt or not owing anything to anyone. This is one that is coming up that might be a gift. Other gift that I can do my stuff my way. It all relates somehow to this independence and not relying on anyone. But
and can I just go ahead?
I still don't see how it is related to the embarrassment. For me, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. Good.
No, no.
Sorry.
So I like my goal is to enter your world, right? My goal is to enter your world first. I want to be able to see things as you see it for just a little bit here. So you're saying that like when you don't see the connection between the embarrassment and like the self reliance, the independence there. There's a different there's something else that if I'm that
Maybe,
okay,
maybe, yes, maybe.
okay, all right. I want to play with that here because like the element the my natural tendency is to say, okay, we got embarrassment. Let's find a way to get rid of that. I think instead I want to spend some time to see like what is the gift that it's given you and
Mm-hmm.
where are the clues in it as well as looking at specifically with the rewards to be able to see we can come up with tactical things to do, but if we don't know why you're choosing the path of let's say not asking for help here,
Mm.
then we're gonna miss actually getting giving you that end reward that we have, and it will show up in another way at some other point.
Yeah. Now, I know why I am not asking for help often. This is simply because whenever I asked, not always, but quite a high number of my requests finished in the way that nothing was done and I was ending up doing this by myself. Only I had less time for doing stuff. Okay, so this is somehow coming from experimenting with many people. This is why it is like this. But I know at the same time that I cannot continue doing this because I will not make my impact as I wanted to be. So I started asking some people anyway, and I continue doing this. I continue reaching out, and this is when this embarrassment is somehow coming in. I don't know yet how or why or how it is connected,
So
but
for
there's
now,
something.
yeah, for now, let's go with you not having to know why or how it's connected, like, but it's present. It's present. My ask is that throughout our conversation, as you find out more about what that embarrassment is, let us know. Bring it into our conversation so we can explore and make sure that we're addressing it as we need to. So I'm hearing from you, Bianca, that you are out there asking for help right now. You're in the place right now where the like embarrassment, the heaviness is showing up. You're getting some words and language around it, but you're still in action around it. Am I hearing that right? It's not like you're waiting to ask.
No, I am asking actually.
Okay,
I
okay,
am going out and asking. I'm practicing.
okay. All right. And practice is the big word for me here. So I like knowing that you're knowing that you are already in the practice. Um, there's an element here that I want to keep going even further down, right? So want to go even deeper than this. So you're looking to build your network. You're looking to continue to practice asking for help. You've done it in the past. It didn't result in it resulted in you having to actually be self-reliant and independent, but you had less time to do all the things that you were going to do anyway. And now you're back out. You're back out doing it in that case. In what way right now? Okay, let me put it this way here. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Um, with the two of us in conversation right now, what's the help that you would most love to have?
From you at the moment, I would really want to understand the connection how is the embarrassment coming in to play? Because you already opened my eyes now, so I would like to know more. And maybe again reduce a little bit the attachment to the result of asking for help, because this I was working on for some time now, and I'm not yet there.
Okay.
I'm still attached a little bit, or attached, disappointed when stuff does not happen, or even angry because I am this type.
All right.
So
Wonderful.
I fall into anger. But I'm also thinking that this embarrassment might have to do that I just don't feel that I'm successful, and I am telling others while asking for help that I'm not succeeding by myself. So it's also, I think, connected with this, that I still think that I need to succeed myself before I can go out, which is vicious circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel you on that one there. The element of once I'm successful, I can go and ask for anything that I need. But first, I need to make sure I'm there on my own
Yeah.
merit, and I'll go from there. Yeah, I saw a look right there. There's a look at there was something that there was more in that yeah than just the word yeah. What was going on? What was playing in your head?
Yeah, exactly. This is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous.
So we see that, and at the same time, like it's still present. It's still present,
So
and
I see it in my head that this is ridiculous.
yeah,
And still, I need to now feel it and embody it, probably, to really go over.
yeah. There's some elements here that I get really curious about. So I'm going to start with us here around that. So let me just take a note of it really quickly. Okay. The question, so the two things that come up for me right now, we're going to explore the connection of embarrassment. But what I would like to do is, like, if we're going to explore it, I want to make sure we're not exploring it on like a weak connection. I want to see like how we can like explore it in a very powerful connection, because I think that it will make it even more prominent and magnify it so that we can explore it that much better. Is that good with you? Okay. So the two things that come up for me that I think might help us magnify in on this embarrassment here is uh, I get curious around the power of your asks from two different places. So let me ask you here. The first question, I think the first one I have is in the asks that you're making when you do ask for help, right? On your own scale, from like the help that you that would be nice to get, but if you don't get it, you're completely self reliable anyway. So basically, help that's nice but not all that important, to help that would actually fundamentally like accelerate your impact in the world and magnify your impact in the world. What's the type of help that you tend to be asking for?
I think before I get there, I must ask myself a question. If I believe that the person I ask for help will help me. I just realized that this might be the clue here also for my asking for help. That I go and ask, and I don't believe that there will be something coming out of it.
Yeah, it almost it's so that's an important place to play there. What's the impact of you asking without you actually believing? What's the impact of that?
Yeah, nothing happens afterwards. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, kind of.
So that's fun for me because like I love being in spaces with manifestors. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we had to like if you don't believe that it's gonna work, um, like you're able to actually create that. That was the second part of the question I was going to ask you. One of them was, are you asking for powerful enough requests? Are your requests, like the end outcomes, powerful? And then the second question was, are you asking powerfully? Like, is the ask itself something
Yeah.
where people, yeah, you get it.
Yeah. So I
That's
think,
great. Tell me more.
um, in case of the people that I believe that stuff will happen and that I can rely on, I think I ask definitely. And it works. If I ask powerfully enough, I don't think so. I probably don't ask for what I could be really asking. I ask for too little by these people.
Tell me more. So you asked for two. So for the people who could actually help you, or
Yeah.
let me rephrase that there because I have to be careful with my words. The people that you believe are reliable enough to help you, you will make an ask, but it's less than what you'll make an ask, and to be a powerful. You'll ask it powerfully, but it'll be less than what it is that you actually need.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has to do with this embarrassment in some way that I stopped myself from asking for too much or from bugging them in a way. Because I know that these people I could ask more and for more.
Yeah. Okay. So let's come back to like both of these powerful asks in a bit. I think we need to just go straight into exploring more about the embarrassment for you, just so you can see that a little bit further. Um, and before we end this, I'll give you a book recommendation that again can help out with the
Mhm.
asks elements of it all. But I think that there's something around the embarrassment that will continue to serve you and almost like lighten up a lot in that process. So, Beata, can you do me a favor? Can you I like to not approach this from the mental perspective, like the intellectual element. I want to get into the feelings in the body. When you were describing earlier about a heaviness in your chest,
Mhm.
right? Can you tap into that
Yeah.
heaviness right now? Can you describe that heaviness for me?
Now it's a little bit less because I didn't, it was like a hit kind of before. So it was like really taking air out of me in a way when I realized. Now it's a little bit easier because I inhaled deeply several times. But it was really like poof, taking, like smashing, squeezing my chest fully before. Like
And with that,
physically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw it and I felt it. I'm glad that you put words to it. I'm going to invite you to here to just close your eyes here, right?
Mhm.
And I want you to just breathe throughout, take whatever breaths you need to throughout this year. But I'd love for you to just give yourself some space to get into your body and to really give yourself a chance to explore this feeling of embarrassment from a different perspective. Not only do you have the feeling of embarrassment, but there's also the physical sensation of it. It literally took your breath away. And so I want to just give us some time to just explore it from a way that we wouldn't normally explore. And give you a chance to breathe into specifically into that place where you are feeling the heaviness. Breathe air into it, put your attention onto it, and really allow yourself to become present with that sensation, presence with that feeling within you. And I almost want you to see and feel that place where you're feeling the heaviness. And then I'm going to invite you to ask that heaviness a question and to see what comes back to you. It might come back to you in a sentence. It might come back to you in a shape. It might come into you from something in your body. But ask the heaviness here, what would you most like me to know? What would you most like me to know? And spend some time listening to that. When you have it, you can nod your head. But there's no rush on this here. Do you have it?
It's very heavy to breathe in, and it's for my protection.
Yeah. Tell me more.
It doesn't want to properly inhale even. It doesn't give space. Very weird. Uncomfortable.
I acknowledge you. Like what one of the agreements I tend to make before coaching here. Let's bring it into our spaces. I'm going to lead, but you're in control. So I'm going to take you to the places, but you can choose to be with it. And I acknowledge you for stepping into the discomfort. I acknowledge you for that in this perspective, and I'll trust that you'll let us know when it's not working, or if we need to go even further. Okay. So you're yeah.
It's not inhaling properly still. I have like this feeling that it's like not allowing me to inhale properly, like when you're under like severe pressure. This is what I feel at the moment, and it doesn't want to release.
Have you ever felt a sensation like that before? That like that feeling of like that deep pressure. Have you felt something like that in the past?
Not that heavy.
Not that heavy. Have you felt something that was similar to it, but a lot but lighter?
I think stuff like this I felt in like situations when my at the time boyfriend, now husband, had a motorbike accident that was really heavy, when I
Yeah.
was like feeling that something bad is happening and I had zero control.
Okay. All right. So let's explore that a bit too. All right.
Yeah.
Like for me, and you'll see this here. I'm exploring embarrassment from a couple of different perspectives. Some of it is the actual word itself,
Mhm.
but the other, but with that sensation, like I want to make sure we're also getting a chance to explore what that is as well. I'm hearing from you um, that it's for your protection. I'm hearing from you that um, you were talking about the accident where it felt like you're out of control.
Mhm.
How is control coming into play when it comes to all that we're talking about today?
Now finally I could inhale. Control. I think I am a control freak generally. I like to be in control, and I am working on not being or letting go and creating space for others for being in control more than I am, but it's a slow process. And of course, when I'm asking somebody for help, I am zero in control because I rely on the other person.
Is that always true?
No, I should rely. I should rely. I should give away the control, but I
Well,
don't.
here's the thing. I don't want to get us into like a game of shoulds because that also
Yeah,
becomes
I
something
know, I know.
that's a whole different. We the question I have here is like it's like what you said when you ask for help, like you give up 100% of the control, and I'm at, and my and you're like 100% reliant on them. This to me like there's an element that I think we need to make sure we explore here if we're really going to understand this here. The is that always true question for me comes from the standpoint of are there times when you ask for help and you are still able to either keep control or feel that you can still be self-reliant uh, in the ask as well?
So when it comes to the person deciding if they will help me, this is when I give control away, of course, because this is then their decision. And at the same time, of course, I am staying on my side in control because I am probably preparing already for a plan B, kind of, or for other options. When this does not work, then what can I do else?
It's I look at this as you're saying this here. There's my mentor is that talk through like the multiple levels of a sale that takes place. And the first sale is always like a sell to yourself before you can
Yeah.
enroll anyone. I will tend to use the word enroll in. To me, it's like in asking for help, there's some parts of it of like you're enrolling people in the vision of what it is that you're wanting to create. They're investing their time, they're investing their network, they're investing the relationships that they've built in here. So there is a payment of some sort in that ask. And it feels to me, from what I'm hearing, when it comes to actually making those requests, you yourself aren't sold on. You're not sold on what? Is it not yourself? Is it not on them? Like, what am I missing? There's some element here that feels like you haven't finished that journey first.
I might be asking wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing is that I might be asking the someone just to ask, and I don't believe that they are in position to help me. This is when I am actually self-sabotaging myself by even doing this, because then I'm of course disappointed when they don't help. So this might be one thing. I cannot say that I am not sold to myself on stuff that I'm doing. This I don't think so.
Before we go too much further, I want to go back. You said
Mhm.
you might be asking the wrong people. Like, just to get us into a place here of like with this here, I'll use this word like you say might. I'm still learning. I'm still learning like how you communicate. So I don't know if
Mhm.
might actually means it's possible, or if you're like, oh, actually no, I'm asking the wrong people. The wrong people. So when you say that, clarify that for me. Are you asking the wrong people?
I think in some cases, yes.
Okay.
Or I am assuming that I am not going to ask because they will not do stuff for me anyway. This is another point. So it's very like multi-layer
Mhm.
thing for this asking for help scenarios.
And when you get down to when you keep going through all those different layers, right? What's at the core of all those layers?
I think having bad experiences with asking for help generally. This is at the very core.
Yeah, yeah. And it's if I'm getting you, you're like you shared a bit of the bad experiences you were having beforehand, where it's like um, it ended up saying they were going to help, but at the end of the day, you couldn't rely on them. How? Tell me about the role of reliance, of being able to rely on other people for you. How, like, tell me about the importance of that in your life.
Well, I rely on one person at the moment. This is my husband, and that's it at the moment, generally. And I don't like it either
Yeah, absolutely.
because I just love to be, self-reliant, and it's important for me to be independent and be able to do what I want to do and have all this freedom. This is why I have my business. This is why I'm working and all this. So this is the core, I think, for everything, the independence, and not being willing maybe even to rely on other people to the extent, I don't know, maybe this is the thing. It all comes to independence.
Yeah, let's play from that place. What does it say about you? What would it mean about you if you needed to rely on other people in order to move forward? What would it mean about you?
That I'm not able by myself. It's exactly the situation at the moment. I'm relying on my husband, and I learned hard way on to do it because my business is not yet there where it should be in my eyes.
So take that a step further. So I asked you, what would it mean about you if
But I'm
that
not
is,
successful. This is, in my eyes, I'm not successful. Yeah.
and if you're not successful, what does that mean? Like, what is, like, we're gonna keep going playing this game a little bit here. What does that mean? So if in your eyes you aren't successful, what does that mean about you?
I'm not making my impact. I'm not able to help my father or my family generally. I'm not reaching enough people that I would want to impact and change a little bit their lives also, or play a part in their lives. That I'm wasting time. The days pass and doesn't work. Generally, I'm not achieving what I want to achieve in my life.
And what's the connection to that and embarrassment for you?
Pretty much connected. And I know I should not say should, but I should be so much further with all I want to do. I will change it. I would love to be so much further.
Feeling
Yeah.
you want. Yeah. And thank you for being in that space here. Um, Look, let's call this out here. Like, if, because there are certain themes here. And yeah, I have I see we're coming up to the top of the hour. I have a few minutes that can go beyond. If we need to stop, let me know. But I can go beyond. I'm like, I want to be here with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So some things that are coming out here are an element of like self-reliance, independence, uh, a connection it seems between success and asking for help, and success and embarrassment, success and not like, and whether or not you've achieved, like if it, like there's an element of like the word reliance really, like when it seems that you need to rely on someone, like there's, it feels like these are some of the stories that come up around it. And I want to like slow down into that there, because there's elements of asking for help, but then there's also elements of and I'm now imagining, we haven't talked about this here, but if relying on others is ends up being the place, I can see where that might enter into relationships with partners that you might go into business with. I can see where that might come in even with clients in various ways. I can see where that will continue to play itself out, with the
Mhm.
asking for help being like one of the manifestations of it. So I want to like in the exploration of the embarrassment and all this here, it looks like one of the areas here is like just the relationship to being seen as successful, and the vision that you have for where you quote unquote should be right now and would love to be, versus where you are right now. Am I getting that right? And if I'm taking that a step further here, like you talked earlier about the word attachment, and so I've kind of kept that with me
Mhm.
to see if there's any place for that really in this conversation. And what comes up is like it feels like there's an attachment right now to the perception of you and your business, the perception of you in some way, and that's an internal attachment for yourself. Let me check in on that. That is a complete conjecture. I'm making that up right now. Does that feel uh, does that resonate at all? Yes, no, tell me.
You mean in the direction that I am attached to my business?
You're not to the business itself, but to a perception of that business, to the perception uh, of of success, to like and I like, yeah, and the perception of,
Yeah.
okay, I'm achieving here.
Yeah. So I think I might be too attached to where I would wish that I were,
Okay.
instead of enjoying simply doing what I'm doing and the impact that I'm making in the progress now, in the process now.
Yeah. That like I actually got like an energetic feel like there was like a body change like here when you were saying that last bit there around like instead of just like enjoying being in the process there. Because it like all of a sudden I felt like there was a lightness to it all. It felt like it was
And
coming.
it is so. When I am focusing on just doing and going and progress, it's great.
Mhm.
I love it. It's a great adventure. It's playful. It's fun, and I love my clients and all. As soon as I start thinking about the business side of it, and I look into my objectives and all this, the hard stuff, then it's getting heavy. This is you observed it very well.
Okay. So I'm going to make an invitation to you then, right? The invitation here is from the standpoint of attachment. I'm gonna invite you to not be attached from the standpoint of the perception and how and what a yes or no means about you or your business. Not
Mhm.
attached to the like look, it's disappointing if we make an ask and it doesn't come there. If you're able to be with that level of disappointment and continue to ask powerfully, then I think we can work on that, right? But there seems to be something even deeper here where it's like if I'm getting you, you're only asking from certain people who you think might give it to you, but at the same time, deep down, you actually think that they can't like be relied
Yeah.
on to give, so on and so forth. There's something else that's happening that's 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 creating the external levels of disappointment and such, whether or not they deliver, right? So let's work a little bit further down from
Mhm.
the standpoint of like detachment from what that basically a detachment from success and the perception of success for you. How does that feel in terms of a place to really like put some focus, energy, and some levity into it?
Yeah. So the only thing is, I still did not figure out for myself how to do it, how to redefine success for myself in a powerful way, so I can focus on something different in a way.
Yeah, yeah. So we're
This,
so
yeah.
there's an element here, and let's see. Let's see how we can play with this. I am not saying redefine success for yourself right here.
Mhm.
I'm saying allow yourself to be unattached from like the element of success in this place, right? Allow yourself to be when, especially when it comes to the ask part, to get in help, to get in support, to allow yourself to let the success that doesn't need to come along for the ride in this case here, right? Um, there is
Mhm.
another way we could do this, and there's nothing that's right or wrong about it here. In this particular place where I'm saying to be unattached, I'm not saying to reframe the attachment, right? I'm asking, I'm creating space for something that's just like, what if your success wasn't on the chopping block at all, right? What if that wasn't a matter in there? How would you show up in asking for help? How like who would you go and ask? And how would you even make those asks? Right? So that's a bit of the space that I'm looking into right here. We can talk about redefining redefining success, but I do want to just call out even just the actual separation of that.
Mhm.
Like, God, is there something that's coming to mind?
I think that I simply need to ask more and not care, not even care before I ask. Just ask, 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 ask.
So now, like,
What comes, comes. Because then the attachment will maybe get, I don't know, maybe smaller or will disappear at some point.
so this is it. Let's play now. Now, like we're in this that in that frame here. I'm gonna suggest a book to you. The book is called The Aladdin Factor by Jack Canfield. The Aladdin Factor by Jack Canfield. Let me see if I can find. And it's all about how to ask. Um, and let me see if I can get the first It's called the Aladdin Factor: How to Ask for What You Want. Um, I'm trying to see right now how to ask for what you want and get it. I'm trying to see if I can find. I can't find it right now, but there's a few very specific like uh, tasks that's in there, or not like just strategies, I would say.
Mhm.
And one of them is to like ask as though you can get it, ask as though you will get it, right? And I'm hearing like in some of what I'm hearing, um, some of those lessons they aren't coming to the place here. I get really curious about not just asking for you, but like I get curious about what are where are the powerful asks for you. Like you'll notice that like that we talked about embarrassment. We brought it all the way down to like the feeling of like, can I like what does it mean about success for me? Right. We also saw about like how that like asking ties to reliance and independence for you. Um, Part of me here with when there's a feeling like that, uh, I like to be able to keep a bit of that to help lighten it up, but to keep a bit of it so we can use it as a compass, right? So my
Mhm.
invitation for you would be like to go and find the places where like think of the people that take your that in making an ask about would take your breath away. Think of the asks that you have, the end results that you would want to have, the type of support you would want, and think about those elements that would take your breath away.
I like that.
And then think about the ways that you can ask that even as you're saying it, it takes your breath away. Right? I'm not. I like. I'm choosing to play this in a different way here. I'm choosing to play with what if the embarrassment was a tool and a compass to help you say this is an ask that matters. This is an ask that will actually help you move forward in your impact in the world. This is an ask that goes beyond what you can do on your own. Like not only like because you're telling me you made asks of others, you came back with less time and you delivered on it anyway. Like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, why are you making asks in that regard then? Like if you're gonna ask, if you're going to feel the feeling of embarrassment, if you're going to feel that feeling right now, right? And that's I'm choosing to play with that in this conversation. If it's gonna happen, might as well make it count.
I love it. I'm already thinking which will be the person that I need to ask about one thing that I know this will be exactly the feeling.
Yeah. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. And like I acknowledge you for even just being open to that, right? Here that like there's an element of it that's um it's odd, but like to me, I'm like, if done intentionally, the leaps and bounds that you can take along the way because you're asking for the things that matter from the people who it matters from. There's an element of even speaking from the heart that I think comes when you get to those places where there's a quality to the ask that transcends the logical elements of it all. Um, I will say what I'm suggesting is not easy, right? It's simple. It's simple enough to we could say in three different ways. Do the thing, go for the asset, take your breath away. But it's not easy. And so I just want to like I want to acknowledge that from the very beginning here, and I want to acknowledge you for being someone that's like okay, but I like I'm open to going through that path there. I want to acknowledge that.
It is a game changer if I think about it, because you are very right. When I ask many times for help, it is for little things that I can do myself anyway. So I was testing the wrong area. And this ask to get a breath away, this is a big one.
Have fun with that. Like and I do mean it. Like have fun with it. Like how let's see. When I say have fun with it, how can that happen? Um, some ways that you might have fun with it is to This now goes to the definitions of success. There's another book that I'll mention that goes along with this, which is called "Go for No." Go for No. I can't remember who wrote it, but I used to listen to it quite a bit. And basically, it flips the whole game on its head. Instead of trying to ask things that you know you're going to get yeses for, like go for the no's. And so that, like, a success is getting
Yeah.
a no, right? Um, set aside even like a period of time, if you'd like to make a game out of it for the next 30 days. I'm just gonna make it a point to just ask as many people who take my breath away as many times as possible with as many things in here, and I'll just see what, like, for the next 30 days, there's no winning, no losing. It just points along the way, you know
Mm-hmm.
you can play with that. You can be like, oh, I asked a very easy person, an easy ask. That's just like 1 point or no points, But if I ask this person or that, and you can accumulate it. I don't know what necessarily works for you, but it's just in that element of, if I say have fun with it, I'm like, how can we make that more real than just than just a line that is being said? Like, if you actually want to have fun with it, you can go ahead and create some games and start to play with it.
I will do that. And I will look for the special person for asking for a really very important help.
Awesome. Is there anything else that would serve you before we leave this conversation?
Thank you. You gave me more than you think.
Hmm. Thank you for
I will
letting,
look
letting
for
me see.
this. And I will let you know when I found the person, when I identified the person. I will let you know.
I like that. I like that. It's like even like there's a step here that's just like, firstly, who is this person? You know. So yes, please do let me know. I'm on this journey with you. I got your back, and I see how you're playing here. So thank you for coming in and immediately allowing yourself to be seen. That's I acknowledge you. I look forward to what comes next. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Niiamah here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then go ahead and leave one of your insights from today's video in the comments below. If you're looking to take this deeper, you can go and watch another video, or you can go to niiamah.com/tribe to get exclusive invitation to our tribe member only events. I'll see you soon.